It's the Real News Network. I'm Sharmini Perez coming to you from Baltimore. Very early on in this primary season, when Bernie Sanders entered the race to be the Democratic Party nominee, many people thought he should run as an independent, including Ralph Nader, who ran as an independent himself in 2004, and in 2008, he came out suggesting that Bernie should as well. Well, our next guest never thought so. Joining me now to discuss this is Jeff Cohen. He's the director of the Park Center for Independent Media at Ithaca College and founder of the media watchdog FAIR and co-founder of the activist group rootsaction.org. Thank you so much for joining me.
Nice to be with you.
So, Jeff, you are at the Ralph Nader conference that is titled Ralph Nader Presenting Breaking Through Power, which the Real News is live casting as we speak. Now, I know that Ralph Nader had early on suggested that Bernie should run as an independent, but now he has changed his mind. But you, Jeff, never thought he should have. Tell us why.
Well, I think the proof is in the pudding. This campaign, because it was inside the Democratic primaries, has got close to 10 million votes. It's forced its way even into a mainstream media that wants to marginalize progressive viewpoints. And this movement around the Bernie campaign is vast, and it involves millions of young people. So the idea that we're still debating whether you should primary corporate Democrats within the Democratic primaries or run independently. Remember, Ralph was one of the greatest third-party candidates in history, and he got about 2.5% of the vote. So if you run in the Democratic primaries and caucuses, as Bernie has, you can force your way into debates with the corporate Democrat, as Bernie has. You can force your way, not necessarily into the center of the mainstream media. There's always mainstream media bias, but you force your way somewhat into the mainstream media on Meet the Press regularly. And it changes the nature of the debate. I mean, I think prior to the Bernie campaign, even I think people, the way we look at the political spectrum has changed. And that even goes for some mainstream pundits. The political spectrum used to say, well, the Republicans are on the right and the Democrats are on the left. Well, now we have, the right wing represented by the Trumps and the Cruzes and racism and immigrant bashing and xenophobia. And hopefully that's a shrinking base, because white people in our country are not as big a supermajority as they were, and young whites aren't as bigoted or homophobic as their elders. Then there's a center in the political spectrum, personified now by Hillary Clinton, but in the past by Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, that can campaign as progressive, but really, when in office, tends to protect the status quo and serve some business interests. And then we have this new thing that everyone has to recognize, that the progressive left is very popular. And the agenda that Bernie has put forward that broke through the mainstream media, and I've been trying to break through the mainstream media for 25 years or more, that this progressive agenda is very popular. So people know there's a proud and loud progressive left in the country, and that's what happens when you primary someone within the Democrats. It should happen against corporate governors, corporate Democratic governors, corporate Democratic senators. I think Bernie's proven it.
And also, he wouldn't have gotten the mainstream stage, the debate space, and of course the opportunities to run in every state in the country if he hadn't ran probably as a...
Yeah, I mean, think about, I think the last Green Party candidate got about, 0.7 of 1% of the vote nationally. And again, I like the Green Party agenda. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying that Bernie has taken the progressive agenda, at least on domestic issues, has taken it to millions and millions of people who had not heard it before. And so there is a left in this country, and even the idiot mainstream pundits have to recognize that. And that's really something that was accomplished by going into the Democratic primaries.
All right, Jeff, I thank you so much for setting that record clearer. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on the Real News Network.